What is that? Right, so we're going to write 480 over here in this blank space to show that we did 6 times 80. We're going to move down to this third box here, and our 6 is going to visit the 2. So we're going to shade in this last box and only this last box to do 6 times 2. Go ahead and solve for that. When you have an answer, raise your hand. Erwin, what's the answer? 12. Now these numbers here, the 600, the 480, and the 12, they're called our partial products. Those are what we use to help us solve for 6 times 182. So now, like we did yesterday, what are we going to do with these partial products? Brandon?
Add them together.
Add them together. So go ahead and add the 600, the 480, and the 12, and when you have the answer, raise your hand. Caitlin, what's the answer?
1092.
Correct. The answer is 1092, which is the answer to this problem, 6 times 182. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're good and you're ready to move on. Go ahead and flip to the next page. We're going to look at the example. It says use place value in partial products, which is what we did for the last problem, to solve for the equation 2 times 4,572. So what are we going to do first in order to solve this problem? Maddie? What's the first step we're going to use in order to solve? What did we do last time first? Close. You're on the right track, but we have to do something with that 4,572 before. Close. We have to, Addison, can you help her out?
You have to break it apart.
Right, we have to break up the 4,572 into expanded form, right, Maddie? So what is 4,572 in expanded form? Maddie. Plus
500.
Plus. Right. Plus. Right. Good job. Now what are we going to do next in order to solve this problem? Anders?
You're gonna do 2 times 4,000, 2 times 500, and 2 times 70, and 2 times 2.
Right. We're gonna have 2 visit all of his friends. Then you're gonna multiply when you do. So go ahead and solve for 2 times 4,000. When you have the answer, raise your hand. After this problem, if you're understanding, we'll be able to move forward. Anya, what's 2 times 4,000? 2 times 4,000.
I know. 2 times 4,000 equals 8,000.
8,000. Who can tell me what 2 times 500 is? Meadow?
1,000.
Caitlin, you want to tell me what 2 times 70 is?
104.
what 2 times 2 is? Addison.
4.
Now we're going to add, these are our partial products. So we're going to add them together. Go ahead and do that, and when you have the answer, raise your hand. Isabella, what's the answer?
9,144.
Good job.
Remember, in math, you have to keep your numbers straight.
Did everybody else get that answer? Give me a thumbs up if you got that answer.
Hot dog.
We're going to go ahead and move on to the share and show, which they're showing us a model again, like we had in the first problem. And they already broke down the 137 into expanded form here for the 130 and 7. So now you're going to solve and have the 2 visit each of his friends. So go ahead and solve this problem now. On your own. Did you already solve it? Okay, just give everybody else a minute to go ahead and solve. Who can tell me the answer to 2 times 137? What did you get for each part when you solved? Isaiah, what did you get for the first part, 2 times 100?
200.
200. And then when you solved for 2 times 30?
That's 600.
600?
That's what I got.
Double check that. 2 times 30.
2 times 3.
What's 2 times 3?
6.
6. Yes, 60. There you go. And what's 2 times 7?
14.
And what did you get when you added them all together?
With the 600, I got 814.
Okay, well now that we corrected for 60, go ahead and add down, solve for that. Who else can tell me what they got when they added these partial products together? Jason? 274. Take off if you got the same answer as Jason.
1 times 2.
Awesome job. Touchdown. And now I know many of you are going on ahead of me, but we're going to just follow along. You can keep going, but as we work these out, make sure you're double checking your answers to see how you did it. And if you have any errors, ask. So this next one says to estimate. So 190 times 3. What we're first going to do is you break down the 190 into expanded form. And then you're going to multiply the 3 times each part of the expanded form.
400 plus 70 plus 20 times 4. Okay. 4 times 400. That's 4 times 4. 16 2 zeros. 4 times 70.
So, what did you guys get when you solved? You did 190 times 3, and you break it down into its different parts, which gives you what? Caitlin, what different parts did you get? Partial products did you get?
I got 300.
What was your first one? 300. And then your next one?
270.
And the last one? And then 0. And then when you add them together, you got 570. Now to estimate, we're going to round your answer. So you're going to round your answer to the nearest 100. So we have 570, and that rounds to what? Andrews?
It rounds up to 600.
600. So your answer should be 600. Take off if you got the same answer. Okay, touchdown. We're going to move on to the next one, number 3, which is going to be solved similar. So first, you're going to solve for the answer like we did here. You're going to break up the 471 into expanded form, find your partial products, and then add them together and round your answer to the nearest 100. Go ahead and do that now.
One more. 28. With 1 0. And what's 4 times 1900 to be rounded to 1,000. They were, this was around 5. Where do you get 12?
What's 7 times 3?
It's not 3 times 400. Okay. This is 3,000.
7 times 3. 21, right? Add 7. And then because you have a 70, add a 0.
21 times 0. 1, 2,
We said 7 times 4 is 28. And then if you did 70, add a 0. So you have 280. What's 4 times 1?
2 zeros. And then 28.
Go ahead and add those. Matter, you had a question?
7 times 3.
Yeah, so 7 times 3.
With 1 0.
7 times 3,000. You did 7 times 3 is 21. And then add 3 zeros to the answer and you got. So for number 2, 471 times 4, what did you guys get as your partial products? Who can tell me what they got for each part when they did 4 times 400, 4 times 70, and 4 times 1? Brandon?
I got 1,600.
For 4 times 400, 1,600.
No.
4 times 4 is what?
4 times 4, 16.
16. Yeah, 1,600. 1,600. What did you get when you did 4 times 70?
280.
And then 4 times 1.
4.
When you added them together, you got
1,884.
And we're going to round this to the nearest thousands. What do you get when you round this to the nearest thousand, Alyssa?
2,000.
2,000. Go ahead and take off if you got the same answer as Alyssa. Great, touchdowns. Go ahead and work to solve number 4, 3,439 times 7. Make sure you break up 3,439 into expanded form and then distribute. So what's 9 times 7? 7. And 37. I have what? 6? 3. Awesome job. Yeah, we're going to go over this in a second though, so make sure you think this, okay? Jason, you have a question? Good job. So since many of you have already solved for this one, what did you get as your partial product when you broke up 3,439 and distributed? Addison.
24,000. Oh.
First, what did you get when you did 7 times 3,000?
21,000.
21,000. Then what did you get when you did 7 times 400?
2,800.
2,800. What did you get when you did 7 times 30?
21. 210.
210. And then 7 times 9?
63.
63. When you added them together, you got
24,078.
24,000 what?
7,700.
And then you're going to round to the nearest 10,000.
And I got 24,000.
24,000. Take off if you got the same answer as Addison of 24,000. I know many of you have gone on, but please go back and double check your number 4. And if you got 24,000, please take off. Okay, touchdown. Raise your hand if you got something different than 24,000. Meta, what did you get?
23,813.
as your solution. That's it here.
Here's what you did wrong.
Did anyone else get a different answer? Maddie? No? Isabel, did you get a different answer? What did you get?
23,673.
What did you get as your first partial product? For when you did 7 times 3,000, what did you get?
21,000.
And then for 7 times 400?
24,000. 2,400.
What's 7 times 4?
28.
And then because it's 400, add 2 zeros. Did anybody else get a different answer? Erwin?
I really got a different answer. I was just asking if I could do
So, if you got the same answer as this and you're good to move on, go ahead and flip to the next page where it says on your own and work to solve those using the same steps that we've done. If you have questions, feel free to raise your hand and me and Miss Gold will help you out, okay?
Now, you need 2 zeros. 2 goes under the 1.
Yeah.
7 times 3. And then you have 1, 2, 3 places. So you have to put 1, 2, 3 zeros. Add 2 zeros.
Then check your adding.
7 times 4. And you need 2 zeros, right? Put your 2 zeros.
I said 2 round 2 is 10,000. So if you round 2
7
is
times 3 is
4, right? 4
2
is
is
1
1
in the
zero.
column. Give it what was the
7 times 9.
Right. So it's 4 in the column. It's going to go. 4 can make it up. 7's going to 5. 5 in the low, middle leg, 5 in the front.
Okay, 4,000.
Makes sense? And you're rounding to this one. So all these become zeros.
Put your zeros on.
Well, you need to re-add this because that's not your answer. You're rounding your last one, which one with this one, 1,854. Rounding to 1,000.
Is it going to change anything if you put 1 or 2 zeros?
Then you give it a try, right? Base it 2,000. Now then.
Stop. 4 times 50. Plus 3. 4 times 5. With 1 0. Here's your 1 0. And then your 20. 4 times 3. Very important to keep your numbers straight and your zeros. Now this is 400 plus 70 plus 63.
3 nothing is. And then around 2,000.
70
Let's
plus
go around to
63. No,
Good job.
27. I'm saying 9 times 3. 27. Okay. So 9 times 4 is. 2 zeros and 36. 9 times 7 is 63 with 1 0. And then times 4 is 28. If you don't learn your times tables, you won't ever be able to do this.
If they need graph paper, they can use graph paper.
Are you being
Your supply of 5 times 700, not just 7. So you're right, it's saying 7 times 5 is 35, but it's 700, so you need to add 2 zeros, right? If you need to, break up the 738 to square root 4. So 7 times 5 gives you, yeah, 7 times 5. Yes, and then because it's 700, you're going to add 2 zeros, so it's going to be right. So then 5 times 30 gives you 5 times 3 is what? 15, and because it's 30, add a 0. 5 times 8.
40.
40, 140. Now add. Make sure you go back and double check these. Okay?
You might need to do the box. Go back into the box to help him make sure he's getting all of the place values correctly, because that's where he makes mistakes.
Yeah. You want- remember the next thing that we found on the next page? You know this box? Now it breaks it up into different parts. Go ahead and do that on the second one. So like with this one, create your box that helps you to visualize it, okay? So you have, see here, so you have 300, 40, and 2, right? Because we're breaking up the 342. 342. And then multiply by each of these. Remember? Go back and double check it. So 8 times 300 gives you close in 24. And it's 8 times 300, not just 3.
I just wanted to let you know where we were. What's up? So if you're having trouble, go back into the boxes. Draw a rectangle again. Like this. Draw a rectangle with 3 parts. And do your expanded form on top. Yep. Just split it into 3 pieces. I don't care how big they are. Put the 8 over here. Yep. Now multiply and put the answers inside the boxes.
200.
It's not for you.
Go up.
Actual question is how can you use expanded form to multiply a multi-digit number by a 1-digit number? So what that's really saying is how did we use our expanded form in the distributive property to multiply numbers together instead of using the standard way? So go ahead and talk to the person across from you about your thoughts about that answer, and we're going to come back and share in a minute. Okay? So go ahead and share with your partner what we learned about like using partial products, how we use expanded form to solve, and what we did, what steps we might have used to solve those problems. Okay? So go ahead and share right now.
More simpler than just doing
About what the strategies we use today. What was the thought today? Like So, there's a question for you. Really what I'm wanting you to talk about is what strategies that we learned today and yesterday that helped us solve.
It's just basically like we like whatever number times the 100 doesn't like 100. I like it just to be talking about how we so we multiplied the bottom or let's say the smaller number with all the numbers with its value, and then after you get that answer, you add it all up, and then you get your answer.
Alright guys, let's regroup. What parents want to share generally what they talked about? Like how do we use expanded form? Maddie?
We use expanded form by putting like if you like have like breaking it apart into groups, and like if you have a number of 5,634, expand it until and I don't know how to say it right.
You expand that number by breaking it up. By
breaking it up, and it would equal 6,000, and then 500. We'll put the plus sign, and then the rest.
Right. So now after we did expanded form, then what else did we use with that expanded form to help us solve the problem? What other steps were involved to help us solve the problem, Andy?
We use multiplication. We use multiplication. Like if it was, like if you were doing 3 times 600 or something like that, then you would do 3 times 6 first, and then add
The 2 zeros. Awesome job. And how did we know what to multiply? What property did we have to use in order to know what we multiplied, Brandon? It's okay. Brian, Q, you want to help him out?
Distributive property.
The distributive property tells us that we need to let the one-digit number go and visit each of his friends, and then we know what to multiply. And after we multiplied it all out, what did we get as our answers to add? What are those called again? Brian L?
The product.
Yep, there's a word before products. You're on the right track though. It's the blank product. Addison? Close. Lady, you want to help her out?
Partial product.
The partial products are what we get after we've distributed and we found all the products, then we add them all up together to get the answer. And that's a different way we can use to solve multiplication problems instead of using the standard algorithm. We can use expanded form, the distributive property, and partial products. Great job, guys. We're going to go ahead and get ready and do
Chapter book.
chapter books.